Welcome back to this lesson on mating together the motorcycle fork. What we need to move on to now is the linkage at the bottom of the fork that attaches the fork leg with the wishbone and the wheel. Let's find the linkage part. And here we are. Here's the motorcycle fork linkage. Now I'm going to drag this motorcycle fork linkage into the assembly and expand the window. Now we need to change the colors of this part slightly because the color is getting lost on the screen. So let's expand the display pane and change the color of the part. We're really just going to lighten it up a bit, so I can change this to another color, selecting from the list here. Okay, this gray color is easier to see the features on the part. I'm going to do the same thing with the leg. Okay, now the first thing to do is I'm going to use Smart Mates to attach these two parts. Hold down Alt, grab the inside edge, drag that onto the edge of the fork leg and drop it. Now let's see if this moves as expected, and it does. Okay, now let's look around here. We've got a little problem in that the fork leg is interfering with the linkage. And we're going to have another problem as well. Notice that when we set this up to be concentric with the hole, that this fork leg is going to need to flex in order for this linkage to move up and down. And SOLIDWORKS parts are not really set up to do that. You can't make a part flex by just dragging the other part. In the same way that we have a problem up here with when the wishbone moves up and down, the spring doesn't compress or extend. The blade of the wishbone is going to need to flex back and forth in order to follow the movement of the center of this hole in the linkage. So what we're really going to do here is a little bit of creative mating. It won't directly solve the problem of this part flexing, but it will allow the assembly to move. First thing we need to do is to get a measurement between this face and shift arrow and this face in order to see how much interference we have. And if I hit M on the keyboard for measure, then that distance is 0.1 inch. So let's open up the wishbone part and take a look at this sweep feature. It has a U-shaped sketch. And we've got a distance of 7.9 between the legs. Let's change that to 7.7, taking 1/10 of an inch off of both sides, and let's give it another 50 thousandths for clearance. That should automatically update properly. We'll use Control-Tab to flip back to the assembly. Now we take a look at this. We should have a 25 thousandths clearance between these two parts. Yes, it's in there. That's good. Now we can hide this plane. Plane 1 we don't need. Okay, but to make this mating situation down here, what we're going to need to do is find the temporary axis that goes through the center of this hole and make it coplanar with this plane that comes from the linkage. So let's turn on the display of temporary axes. Select the axis through the center of the hole. Control select the plane. Click on the mate tool and just make them coincident. Now, when the linkage goes up and down, you can see the pole moves in and out, but it stays on plane with the hole through the wishbone. This is not perfect, it's not ideal, but it takes into account the engineering reality while still allowing the CAD model to flex. Now we need another part on the other side, and we can't create the situation that we did for the first fork leg because the linkage part is not symmetrical side to side. So let's use the mirror component option again but let's create an opposite-handed part this time. We're going to insert mirror components, mirror about the right plane, components to mirror this part. We'll use the next to find the correct orientation for the second part, and there's 4 different options. If we cycle through all of these, you can see that this is wrong because the details are on the wrong side, and that's wrong, and that's wrong. So all of the options are wrong. We can create the opposite hand version, and that should be correct. So now let's see if that's done anything to our motion. No, the motion still works as it should. Okay, let's turn off the display of this plane. Let's click that plane to turn it off. And let's turn off the display of the temporary axes. And let's put the wheel in place. I'll grab the right plane of the wheel and the right plane of the assembly and mate those together. And then I'll select inside the hole and inside the hole and right click. Now, obviously what just happened shouldn't have happened. This could be a bug with one of the features. Let's hit rebuild to see if the parts go back. No. All right, what you just saw was probably some sort of a bug. See, we've got a rebuild symbol on here. I'm going to press Control Q on the keyboard. Control Q is a forced rebuild that forces SOLIDWORKS to rebuild everything, regardless if SOLIDWORKS thinks it needs to be rebuilt or not. So that appeared to work to put this all back together. Now we still need an axle to go through here, and axle nuts and the bolts, the regular hardware that you would use to attach parts like this. But if we take a look at the assembly, as it is, we do have motion of the front wheel that's of the type that we need. And we've made 2 approximations, one with the spring that does not flex, and one with the wishbone that also does not flex. In the next lesson, we'll learn a little bit about some in-context design.